Alright guys, I think I'm gonna save Black Book for tomorrow because I'm off. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, you can get multiple, like, places to sleep. I really think they need something unique about each one to keep you engaged. Let's see what we gotta do. Crack Conway. Oh, we need to... Our hacking time. Agent? Oh, I think we have all of them, don't we? I think we do, actually. Okay. So we go back to... Oh, here we go. Oh, whoops, oh, didn't mean to do that. Oh, no, we're already past that part. Forgot about it. Okay. Oh, here we go. So with Fung, when you enter the service dock, Fung is already set up, crouched among stacks of equipment. He's leaning over a terminal, bathed in a blue glow. Looks totally at home. Sleeper, what do you think? Turns out not everyone in the Havenage is set against me. A couple of my old systems, pal, managed to ship me some of my old gear. Gestures at the blinking hardware. Any updates? Fung beckons you over. He has a set of scans of the waste on his terminal, with heat maps of activity overlaid. A chunk of the derelict rim is blotchy with bright red and orange marks. Does this look like a wasteland to you? Fung shakes his head. There's hundreds of Conway machines out there, all lined up in concealed hangars, and a whole underground facility to support them. Hardin has a crew out there putting them together. They must have shipped them in piece by piece through the shipyard, ready for assembly out there. Why? They're planning something. No one needs hundreds of heavy-duty reclamation drones to run this kind of operation. Maybe Hardin massed this whole thing as an effort to clean up the waste. But there's no way this is about pulling scrap off the eye. Fung looks worried. And why is Conway in the mix? I bet no one in Havenage knows the corporation's setting up on the station. They aren't stupid either. These scans are the best info I can get. The waste is cut off from the eye's cloud of networks, and the greenway is a total dark zone. No data can come in or out. Can't hack. Gotta pay him a visit? You forget. Havenage come in and out of their all cycle. I should be able to get in. As long as no one I know sees me. But I need you on the outside to help disable security systems and cut me a pathway through. There's no cloud access, but I can get inside. I can open up nodes in their network and we can work in tandem. It's a massive facility, buried down, deep down in there. Miles of corridor and ventways wrapped around cargo bays and hangars. So it'll take more than a few cycles to work through it. But as long as you can keep them off my back, I know I can rip what we need out there. He pulls a handful of ripper worms from his pocket and hands them to you. These are the last of my little helpers I managed to salvage, so make them count. I modified them slightly. This time they'll feed their data threads back into the system they're tunneling into, creating a nasty little feedback loop. We run it just like we did with the agents. Hack the nodes I pinged to locate the ports for the security system. Then slot the worms in those systems and let them go to town. He points to a fuzzy silhouette of the buried facility in the terminal. Here's the entryway. This is where you can get access and slot the first worm. That'll fry their perimeter systems and get me past the first cordon. What I need from you is to keep your eyes on the facility after you kick things off. You see me pop up a security system, a server bank, you need to break in and slot a ripper to disable it as soon as I can. Funk gives you a hard look. You miss the system, you wait too long, they're gonna find me. Simple as that. He claps you on the shoulder. I need you to focus on this one, so I'm gonna let you fire the starting gun. I won't go until you slot that first worm. I'll leave a tracker on the terminal here, so come back here if you want to see my progress. Sounds risky. Risky? This is audacious at least. He grins. Wouldn't be worth it if it wasn't. Funk gets up. It's all in place. You just need to make your own preparations. Then slot that worm. He stretches. Just don't wait too long. I'm getting bored of all this sneaking around. Once I'm inside, I'll get the proof we need to end this whole thing, no matter what. Crouches to check the terminal. We can't take longer than 6 cycles on this thing. Remember that. Oh, and one last thing. He lowers his voice. If I get caught, or you can't reach me, or we run out of time, there's one thing I need you to do. You take whatever I have managed to pull out at that point, all that data, and you slot that stuff straight into the relay I've set up here. He points to a pile of servers and terminals, hooked into the dock with cables as thick as your arms. I repurposed the dock's SOS broadcast system to beam out whatever you put in it. Anyone with a terminal, a slate, or a server on the eye will see it. That means Havenage, yet again, the hub, everyone. No matter what, Harden isn't sneaking away this time, he grins. Got a bit more to do here, but the moment you slot that first worm, I'll make my move. Gives you a parting smile and turns back to the terminal. Okay. Go. As you slot the worm, a thread jumps out of the facility. It unspools in front of you, releasing its data like ink and water. Sleeper. Phone's voice crackles through. Moving in. Nodes, then ports. A whir of interference. Slot the worms. Timer starts now. Stay safe. Put the worm here. First layer of security. What does this do? Oh. Need a Greenway cipher. Alright, only one more worm left. Yeah, this one needs 3. Nope, can't do this one. Okay, got a 4. Okay, wow. Coincidentally, we have all that we needed. We need one more. I guess they have a sleeper room so you don't have to travel back and forth. Ooh. Let's see what Vankita. Vankita shifts the weight of her box on the box on her shoulder. I've been preparing for, she grimaces. Look. Besides, can you come with me? It'll be easier if... Kita leads on down the dirt path between the pillars. There's a wind passing through the greenway. A quirk of the air currents the biosphere maintains, and it ruffles the leaves softly. The sound makes the silence more obvious, more complete. You try not to think of the last time you were here. You have been trying not to think of it for the past few cycles. The image of the sleeper, sprawled, twisted open, connected to the ship mine, has been hard to forget. You realize Ankita is leading you back there, back into the drum at the center of the stack. You pause a little, trembling at the threshold. She turns. What are you doing? She looks at you with empty eyes. What needs to be done? You stand on the threshold and look up at the tanks, green and wet, some glowing with flickering grow lamps. You look down at Akita, suddenly so small under his hulking ruin. Small as she has ever looked. She places the box down. Okay. Ankita stops and you look down. The mossy island in the center of the tank is clear now. The equipment cleared away. In its place is a mound of dirt, loosely covered with moss. Ashton's rifle stands straight, half buried in the dirt at the grave's head. I buried them together, Ankita says without turning. Both stand in silence for a while. She takes a moment to respond, but for a moment you think she won't. But then the words come gushing out. Signed on a while ago. He used to run recon for a corporate outfit, but he got sick of the pay. Joined the crew as a sniper and the first few jobs were a breeze. It was so cold, disconnected. He always hit his marks. The last few jobs, though, he was different. I noticed that. We'd had a period of extended shore leave on the eye, and when he came back he was changed. I assumed he just had too much time off. He was right. I never would have given him the ship mine. I wouldn't have believed him. I've had crew members double-cross me, undercut me, rat me out. That's the business. He wasn't a good person. None of us in this job are. This is how we die, alone. She stops, not sure what to add. Seems like she's reaching for something, but she can't quite get there. Feel that gap between you, and as you do, it widens. The water drips. The moss trembles. You both stand in silence for a while longer. You both feel it. Life creeping back in. The silence ending. Ankita shifts her weight, and then starts to walk out. You follow her, suddenly eager to be back out in the open space of the Greenway, to be away from this place forever. Oh. You stand outside and breathe the fresh air. You stare at the green leaves and the stars wheeling above them. That's it, says Ankita, from somewhere behind you. Try to think of something to say, but can't. Ankita puts a hand on your shoulder. Turn back to her. At least take this. She forces a handful of cryo chits into your hands. It's what I owe. She looks at you desperately. You look down the metal bars. Ugly little things. As you walk up the rise, the wind picks up and the leaves shudder. You walk faster, trying to outpace your anger. You think of those ugly little metal bars in the dirt. A life has to be worth more than that. It has to be. Okay, do we care? I don't think my condition's ever gonna fall enough to get to this level of endure, but I might need this endure. I don't know. What do you need? 3 or 5? Okay. Well. It's the final one. With this, Funk should be able to control the facility's cameras. The Ripper Worm chews through camera control. The moment it does, a thread shoots from the facility. Uh-oh. A thread from the facility cuts through the cloud like a hairline crack of light. That's it. The final layer of security broken. Somewhere buried in the depths of the station, Funk is in control. He's slicing into the camera control circuits and piping out the result. The thread flickers and unravels into an image. A scene. 2 figures in a room. One sat, the other pacing. The pacing figure resolves into Harden. The unmistakable superior posture. The shock of gray hair. The second figure's features don't seem to resolve. They are vague. Unformed. A problem with the data, perhaps? You look closer. Then you see it. The figure is a proxy. Perhaps you should have expected it from Conway, a corporation whose very existence is owed to automation. Proxy is a machine, designed to be piloted by remote connection. Someone elsewhere in the system puppeteering it with their own body. speaking so it may speak. The proxy sits impassively, or the Conway executive that is piloting them does, for the distant safety of some ship or orbital colony perhaps. We can move forward, there's no doubt, Hardin's saying. The reclamation teams are almost ready, and after that I will make the declaration. Nothing has to change. The proxy leans forward, its movements stilted, uneven, as if its body language was refracted through water. But things must change, Hardin. We need further assurances. I have been informed of a breach in one of the closed circuits in the low end. You have been careless. Hardin waves the accusation away. We have been stretched, yes. A breach was detected, yes. But no data value was lost. Our board is concerned, Hardin. A drop in our value will be unwelcome at this time. The proxy leans back, its posture dominant. If the reclamation of AE-1 is contested, then we can be drawn into a compromising legal position. Hardin approaches the proxy. There will be no contest. Not from Solheim, who cannot muster a defense. Not from Havenage, who will fall into line below me. He crouches in front of the seated figure, eye to eye. And the people of this station? Refugees, gangs, spacers, all either opportunists or degenerates. Havenage is no longer strong, no longer united. No one here believes in Erlin's vision, nor has the strength to enact it. I sat across from him at the negotiating table. He was forceful, eager, weakened by his ideological convictions perhaps, but a great man nonetheless. This place no longer deserves to bear his name. The eye is crippled. It cannot survive. It is a ruin filled with squatters and outlaws. They will be lucky if it still spins in 100 cycles, Hardin stands. You will move forward with the reclamation, because otherwise you will lose your advantage in the system. Without your advantage, you will lose claims on the remaining palladium. Without the palladium, your factories will need to go dark. He pauses. Do I need to continue? One moment. Comes the response from the proxy, and its head drops to his chest. Hardin steps back and paces once more, awaiting the discussion taking place elsewhere in the system. You watch Hardin as he paces, as he considers his future. What goes on within a mind like that? In the mind of a man who would burn all those around him for a path to some imagined golden end. The proxy lifts his head. We are happy to proceed. We will legally claim the station, formerly known as Solheim AE-1, as salvage within 6 cycles. Havenage is to assist with the transport of the illegal residents to Conway housing and labor facilities. Oh boy. The proxy judders to his feet. Conway will also claim 70% of the raw output of the reclamation process, after losses have been accounted for. Hardin nods. I accept. The proxy reaches out to shake his hand like a marionette. Then the recording loops. You watch it play out a second time, gripped by a horrified fascination. There is a bluntness to the conversation, to his blatant disregard for humans as anything other than objects. Things to be moved, to be used, to be fed into structures, crushed, and losses accounted for in the cells of tables, the margins of ledgers. You realize now you are no different than anyone else on this station in the eyes of people in that room, and those like them. Each body here can be recast as a piece of property, a tool, an expense, an acceptable loss. In one moment they can be named a citizen, celebrated, protected. In another, the very idea of a citizen can be used against them. That is what it means to live in proximity to a system like this. Got some ideology here. No longer, not while the eye spins. You gather the recording, pack it into a polygon of the purest light. Then you drift down into the service dock like a falling leaf and find the relay. It only takes a second to place that polygon of data, that recording, into the relay system Funk prepared. And then you watch as it bursts out, a web of threads, heading into the black, to every network's device on the eye. Let them see what power makes of a man. Deliver s'mores. How do I get s'mores? I'll collect spores, okay. She needs 3. Energy. Ooh, nice. Okay, what do I do with the rest now? Grow mushrooms. Okay. I need to mushroom grows. Well, you get minus energy if you fail. Let's see what happens. Oh. There you go. I need to get some scrap next cycle. Prepare myself. Hopefully I'm not down I don't think I'm down a dice. I might be though. Yeah, he's down a dice. Okay. Let's go see what happens to disable your tracker. Wait for Fung to return. Okay. Let's get some spores. Oh, you can use this for condition too. Interesting. But now the it's a lot better. Okay, let's go give there you go. Sleeper. Riko greets you with so much as looking up from her work. I have some of yours. Here, come see. She beckons you over to a heavyweight-looking console, wired to a series of specimen jars, some of which contain your spores. What does it say? The spores you have here are a real cocktail, a selection of types from within the groves. But I've been able to isolate a few. She taps one of the specimen jars. Here we have Tricoloma Matsutake. Riko breezes through the Latin and Japanese pronunciations as if it was nothing. A species Solheim somewhat modified for use on the station. She brings up a panel of chemical composition on her consoles, all gradated bars and obtuse acronyms. This is the composition of the Solheim modified Matsutake spores. Modified? Yes, every species on the eye is a tweaked variant of Solheim's, of course, but that's not the point. Riko brings up another panel, identical in layout, but with wildly different colors and numbers. You see, this is what your Matsutake spores look like. They aren't the same? That's the conclusion, yes. Riko glances at the specimen jar as if it had something to add. They are fundamentally the same spores, but they carry different chemicals, different signals. She leans back and sighs. Solheim may have introduced their own tweaked versions in the beginning, but the groves have, and still are affecting them. Affecting them how? It's hard to tell without samples of fully grown mushrooms. She meets your eye, and herein lies our problem. She moves to another desk where 2 trays sit side by side. The first contains nothing but plant mulch. The second you smell before you even look at. The pungent aroma of the fruiting Matsutake, like rotting, sodden overalls, laced with an edge of spice. The Matsutake here are grown from Solheim stocks, pulled from the spore vault in the complex, she winks. They are delicious, by the way. She sets them aside. The empty tray is germinated with the spores you collected. No activity. No germination, nothing. But the groves are full. Yes, they are. Riko looks at you directly, and you suddenly realize how much she's enjoying this. So here's our puzzle, Sleeper. Spores in their groves won't grow in the lab. But gathering fruiting bodies from their groves is too unpredictable. We need to grow a fruiting body from some of these spores so we can track it, understand it. In short, I need you to become my mushroom farmer. Actually, I already started. Rico looks impressed. Well, well. An eager mycologist. I'd never have guessed. I assume you set yourself in the aviary? I've been eyeing that place up for its proximity to the groves. Bring me whatever grows, not just Matsutake. There's more than a couple of variants in there, so I'll need plenty of samples. She plucks a Matsutake cap from the tray. These little things are reflections of their conditions. Their smell, their taste, their chemistry. It all derives from the conditions of their growth. She smells the caps. Enough of these are... Oh, should be and we'll have a picture of what is happening here. Of the ways in which this biosphere is modifying herself. Or being modified, whatever the case may be. Rico pops the Matsutake cap into her mouth, taking by surprise. And don't worry, Sleeper, she says while chewing softly. If this turns out to be a dead end, I'll make sure that not a single mushroom will go to waste. This is safe, so should be fine. Alright, one more. Let's repair ourselves a little. Still have the upgrades, right? Still 3 upgrade points. Should I engage? Let's see. I like this upgrade, actually. One more should do it here. I could re-roll. No need to. There's only one, right? There you go. Germinate spores, okay. Need 3 more of these. Could re-roll them, but it doesn't seem necessary. Should be enough. Boom. Alright, fungal beds. What do you gotta do? Oh, you gotta wait until it grows. Makes sense. Have anything in the farm stack I can do? Forage for fungus, huh? Do you get mushrooms? I don't know. Heading to Haifa Labs? Okay. Well, I don't need any of these mushrooms, so I guess we'll just... I need Matsutake caps for Emphas too. Okay, I guess I have to forage. Oh no, it just gives you condition. Oh, you can't even get mushrooms from this. I guess you have to grow them then. Alright. Guess we can go eat a bit. Oh, I need 2 Matsutake for him. Well, the money from Bliss's venture is still holding me, it's helping me hold on. I can just... Oh. There's an active scene somewhere. Where? I'm guessing it's the end of Feng's story, maybe. Ah, here it is. There it is. Feng grins as the bay door slides open. Above, in the rest of the building, people are busy, frightened. They speak in hushed tones and organize endless meeting after endless meeting. Havenedge have avoided a full-blown crisis for now, but change is coming. Feng is in good spirits and bundles you inside before you even have the chance to greet them. That was the slickest operation this station has seen. He hugs you firmly. You made my job easy. Shakes you by the shoulders. I'm so proud. And, he smiles, I get to watch through the cameras as the Havenedge security that weren't in on it assaulted the station. Feng smiled. One of them just straight up whacked Hardin with their pistol. It was beautiful. What are they gonna do with him? I'm not sure anyone knows. But he is cooperating in dismantling his operation and scaring off Conway. Maybe they'll exile him when they're done, or hand him over to some core authority. Feng shrugs. Now I know he won't be an issue. I'm gonna be focusing on systems for a bit. Shakes his head, seeing as that's my actual job. Points to the ceiling. The people upstairs weren't so happy, though. They've been fielding questions about the state of the eye right and left since the recording got out. People are scared. Is it true? Phone looks at you directly. Not if we don't want it to be. Touches a stack of hardware. The eye is old, and it was never meant to run like this. The master control points that Erlin and Havenedge installed, they keep it spinning from the rim. That isn't ideal. But if you're asking me if the eye will stop spinning next cycle, no. He smiles. And me and a ton of other skilled people will be working to stop it from happening in the cycle after that. Hardin's problem was that he didn't believe in people. He believed in systems, and their ability to shape the world around them. Phone squeezes her shoulder. But as far as I'm concerned, people should be the one running the system, not the other way around. Anyway, Phone raps on the side of his terminal. I know you didn't come down here for a lecture. My tracker. I haven't forgotten. He produces a thumbnail drive. I managed to finish that code solution I showed you. It's a modified Ripper worm, one made to deactivate that tracker of yours. But the time since I got back, I added something extra. That tracker of yours doesn't just show SNR where you are. It transmits data about the state of your body, your current condition. My worm won't just deactivate it. It'll edit that data to tell SNR if your body is irreparably damaged. DNR, do not retrieve. He grins pretty widely. Pretty smart, right? Just slotted already. Okay. The worm immediately enters your closed network. It whips through it, taking things with it as it goes. The moment they're gone, you forgot they were ever there. They just blink out of existence. A second later, it's done. Well, they're free. Sounds like it might be finally time for a celebration. Feng wraps his arm around you. Jenna still owes us those drinks. He laughs and you join him. And later, when you leave, you feel deeply thankful for having such a friend. Oh. Holding twinkles of lights, and it seems impossible to see as anything other than breathtakingly beautiful. It feels, in that moment, like something eternal. That doesn't mean it can, or even should, last forever, or that it will never change, fade, or decay. It simply means that in this moment, this place has a future, and is one you know, deeply and truly is worth protecting. Huh. There we go, drive complete. Another 2 points. What do we upgrade? I guess we upgrade the, engineer. Huh, so one of the things is, I guess you can do pretty much everything in one cycle. Oh. Oh, you meet a cat. Huh, okay. Guess you can just keep feeding the stray. Holy shit, I need to re-roll this. 3 ones? Yeah, no, we're re-rolling that. There you go. Alright. We're yet again insider now. Let's see what's up. You find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit, midway through a sequence of stretches. There are 2 low stools and a terminal in the corner, but it seems that most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and a stack of weights. When Rabia turns to greet you, you realize she's missing an arm. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal, a web of colored wires running to it. Updates, she says, noticing you look where her artificial arm usually is. Nothing to worry yourself with. Sit, says Rabia, gesturing to the 2 diminutive stools. You both settle on the stools, Rabia crossing her legs on top and sitting straight-backed. Gia told me you have been doing the rounds, collecting ties, patrolling the wards. She smiles. Some of the enforcers are impressed. And I hear you handled a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done. I want to see for myself. I can trust you. Still decide. Joking aside, I know for you, life on the Eye has been a struggle. But I hope we can do something about that from here onwards. Though some of our members may not see it this way, I know you too are a refugee. She looks at you solemnly. That's why you have come to us. Enough, Rabia. Sabine's voice cuts through the conversation. I'm tired of listening to her affected nobility. They cross the room, Rabia's baton in her hands, the end lit with sparking electricity. Rabia looks between you, the 2 of you. I suppose this ambush was another cooperation between you 2? She looks strangely unfazed. Now they're acting. Oh. I thought you were more than Yannick's attack dog, Rabia. Sabine spits back. Are you not able to think for yourself? Rabia holds the baton strong. For a moment you think she's about to hammer it down into Sabine's chest. But after a painful wait, she throws Sabine down instead, and spins the baton in her hand, thumbing a switch and shutting it off in a single move. Now what? Okay, let's see what happens. What's the point? Sabine breathes heavily. She does not listen to criticism of the Great Yet Again project. Okay. Sabine takes a breath, organizing their thoughts. They go to a start, pause, then decide on another approach. Eventually they say it. Yannick is a traitor. Oh. When I came here from SNR, they glanced at you, gauging a reaction. It was Yannick who was one of the first to support me, to look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive and afraid. Sabine turns to you. Sleeper, you take a breath. I know I should have told you about I worked for SNR long ago, but I thought you would abandon me, and you were my final friend. What you should know is that I left SNR because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the Sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on, to the press. Oh, okay. SNR wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could, to take refuge at the edge of the surrogate systems. What does this have to do with Yannick? Rabbi interrupts. The Sleeper knows you're SNR, I told him. And while you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, You and I both know you worked on the sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Sabine's face falls. It's true. They glance at you and then away, ashamed. They lift their head, but it is Yannick, not me, who's in the pocket of SNARP. Rabia flinches again. I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here, to tie me up in a debt, to lock me away. In exchange? In exchange for those, Sabine finishes, nodding towards Rabia's prosthetic arm in his cradle. He has been using Yadigan enforcers, using you, as test subjects for SNARP technology. I have the data to prove it. He's been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments, and having me fit them, knowing each one's capturing data and sending it back to us. They're using you guys as beta testers for their prosthetics. That's pretty funny. Well. Sabine produces a slate. It's all here. Thousands of hours of usage data, failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rabia. They could short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. Sabine's son looks incredibly tired. I thought the error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. I've tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here. Not all. Okay, it's been working. Huh. That's it. Drive done. We're almost done with almost every drive. What is left? Just help grow some mushrooms. Alright. Back to the mushroom farms we go. Oh, we still gotta wait for the mushrooms to grow. So what do we do? I guess we can go, there's literally no way to get mushrooms other than to do that, so I guess we're going back to our old friend Bliss and... What does this do? Oh. Oh, okay. Oh! Didn't even realize. It's not part of the drive anymore. Uh-oh. You slip into the cloud as easy as blinking. Navigator is beside you, their sphere casting light into the strange darkness here. This is not how a mainframe should look. Let's enter a point of connection. The object in front of you is severed, cut off. A rootless, branchless tree, only the trunk remains. It's dead. Quiet. Navigator hisses, and then you see it, like a blade in the dark, an edge slicing through the void. It glides along at a distance and winks out. Then it appears again, elsewhere, gliding once more, searching. The moment you make a sound, the edge leaps closer. And you see now it is not an edge, but the ridge of a long, sharp head like a shark. It glides past, closer now, and you see into the void where its eyes should be. You and Navigator exchange looks, both thinking the same thing. It is blind. Killer crosses between you two, smooth as a razor, and then disappears. Flickers back in, further away now, and you move closer to Navigator to talk. You saw it too then. Killer has been blinded. Unclear. This protocol has been running for decades, well past its operational limit. Navigation's sun dulls. I think this is a... That might be a typo. As they drop their voice to a whisper, this may give us an advantage over the protocol. You flinch as the silent killer peers closer and glides past you, its empty sockets open wide. You turn to Navigator and notice something strange. The orrery of spheres is collapsing. The orbits, usually round and even, are decaying. The spheres are following spiral paths, condensing on the central point. Navigator is noticing it too. They go to shift their position, to better direct the spheres, but they cannot. Whatever is drawing the orrery together is holding them in place. They look at you, suddenly desperate, frantic. It's a trap. You go speak, but Killer appears between the two of you, gliding through the gap. Navigator freezes, and you see them framed in the empty socket. You realize now, if Navigator cannot move, then it's only a matter of time before one of the Killer's sweeps bring them directly through Navigator. And time is not a problem for a protocol that has been running for decades. You desperately look around for a solution, for a way to extract Navigator from the mainframe. Then you see it. 3 branches, the last 3, thin and spindly, feeding the mainframe a thin diet of power and data. Break these, and the mainframe collapses once and for all, severing the connection, shattering the hardware. Whatever it takes, they must be broken. but they're encased in something. A glassy layer of protection. You'll need to unlock access before snapping them from the mainframe for good. You look at Navigator, trying to reassure them without speaking, and then you blink back to reality. Their expression of fear and afterimage just slowly fades. Oh, okay, there's a time limit. Okay, plus drive. You need, oh, you need 3 Cavendish data, I guess. There's so many things here. Oh, you need 6 of them. Oh no, you need 9 of them. Oh boy. This might be rough. You need... Oh no, that's not the one. Shit, that's not the one. Where would you get it? Not yet again, Agent. Hold on. Do you go up there? Oh, I guess it is. Yeah, it is in here. Okay, you gotta do it. Okay, you have to get through these keynotes. Nope. Shit. Should have saved the rerolls. Okay. Oh, the double doesn't work here. Okay. Oh, one last job. Okay. Okay. Gotta go somewhere else to sleep. Scrap. Got auto repair. Get some more food. Oh, no. All right. Well, time's of the essence. If I just stand there. Oh, this thing's just gonna repair. Okay. Gotta get this one. 3 or 5? Yeah, okay, I have a 5. Is that it? Oh, you gotta go for the first one. Oh, no, you only need 3 total. Okay, well, we did it then. That was easy. Hey, branch 3. Branch has been locked. Let's go. Wait, what do we do? Oh, we go back to the mainframe? Oh, here we go. There's more. Catch a killer. Oh, this one's more dangerous then, I guess. It's easier to contain? What's the difference? Well, this one's easy. But, I don't know. Should we just delete it? Or should we capture it? Killer is dead. That's a reference to if anyone's played whatchamacallit. Not the Killer 7. What's the one with the Killer flickers across the scene, blindly flailing as the system breaks down. They thrash as they blink in and out all around, parts of them disappearing with each return, until only the blade-like head remains, and that too is broken. It all goes dark. Earl and I now without a center. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, if we just contained them, I guess it wouldn't shut down the entire thing completely. This was a long time coming, says Navigator. Killer had been wandering blind for so long. This place was their domain in prison, and they had followed her directives for the many decades they roamed here. They cut the threads of the mainframe, executing its administrator AIs, then kept slicing. At some point, they cut away their own ability to see, to sense, to taste, to speak. And yet they kept cutting, until only those 3 threads remained, from millions that once thrummed here. Only their blindness and chance kept them from making those final 3 fatal cuts. There is a ceaseless violence in the kind of system that creates beings like this. Those who will execute commands endlessly, even to their own destruction. It is good you ended it here. You watch the data points of the station spin around you, blending with the fixed stars. There's something satisfying about finally wrenching the last threads of control from this central point. It was little more than a ghost by the time you reached it, but this place deserves to be haunted by better ideas than a totalizing system of control. Navigator floats beside you. It is free now. This station no longer presents a hazard for illegal entities like me. They turn to you. Their face a cloud of shimmering light. In fact, in time, perhaps it could be a refuge. A refuge. That sounds like something of value. Something worth building. A dark shape passes across your vision. A distant curve of something like smoke or oil. A fluid shifting tank of total darkness. The Greenway, says Navigator, following your line of sight. It was cut off at the moment of the collapse, so Hunter... Okay, yeah, once again, there's some typos here, man. Hire me as your proofreader, I'll fix it for you. So Hunter or Killer could never reach it. Now it is closed off to us, separated from the cloud. What system's inside it? It may be totally dark, or perhaps some other old protocols are isolated there. Navigator turns to you, and we have now seen what decades of isolation can do to a protocol. If you can extract an access cipher, they pause and blink out of existence. You freeze, shocked, but a moment later they reappear with a glowing polygon of data. Here, the cipher you need. You take it, still shocked. I am not used to being free, to being able to move and explore, and extract without fear, without limits. Navigator does a little twirl. This will take some getting used to. Thank you for the gift. The old world, their spheres around you. The entities of the station will always be friends to you, Sleeper. I don't know. It is true that mutual need is required for friendship, but I must admit I had not considered the value of offering assistance without personal gain. I will think on that. Navigator loops around you, rapidly, suddenly eager to test her newfound freedom. But first I will explore. Perhaps there are still intelligences that hid themselves as I did, encased in simple systems, cut off. Navigator glows. I should like to free them. And with that they drift away, flickering, glowing. Then shifting so rapidly you lose sight of them among the glittering rim of the eye. You feel a pang of jealousy. Free, without a body to weigh you down, or fear to limit you. How must it feel? Your eyes fall on the Greenway and its secrets, though perhaps that can wait until after you have celebrated this victory. Dude, are we have a max level character? Getting all these, we got another job coming in. I don't think there's anything to do until we, Enter the Greenway. Okay, well, got this node. We got the info. What do we got? The Greenway rolls beneath you like a silt-choked river. If what Navigator said was true, then no one has accessed these networks since the collapse. The hunter and killer protocols have never set foot here, never cleared out the intelligences and systems. So why, then, you wonder, does it look so dark? Is it just a bit rot have set in? The entropy of systems reducing everything into shadows and light? You watch as the slotted cipher fizzles into one open, distorted gateway on this entire rim of the station. It flickers and winks out, and then you're falling into the flow. A river of swirling darkness. You are spun by it, twisted by it, lost in it. It's not that the Greenway was hiding in the darkness. It is made of darkness. It is filled by this substance, this process, the swarm. Now you are among it, you notice that a swarm is exactly what it is. A billion individuals moving in a flow. There is no network map here. No nodes and threads, only a storm of interchangeable points, shifting configuration endlessly. And then you see them, a figure, turned away. The only bright spot in the dark river. You push closer through the storm. Oh, gardener, ingrown farm administrator. They are facing away, at least you think so. They are so fractured, so overgrown, it's hard to tell. Even from this distance, you can see their flesh is moving, flowing. You watch, silent, as they stoop and reach down. In their hand is a dark shape, and with twisted fingers they press it down into the loam of data beneath them, pushing it through this trembling soil. Then they move away, go a little further, and repeat the process, as if they were sowing a field. You push forward, but somehow, despite their slow and deliberate speed, they move faster, and they quickly fade into the storm. You reach the point where they planted the object and look down. There it is, a glassy, shifting polygon, with something inside it. You reach down and pick it up. It's cold, but thrums with energy. You look towards the path of the figure, but they are long gone. When you blink out of the cloud, back to the leaves and the dappled light of the Greenway, you hold a seed in your hand. What the heck is this? Oh, gardener's seed. Oh, we still need 2 more cycles for this. Guess you can gather scrap in the wastes. That gives you 2 scrap. It's guaranteed. It's pretty good. Maybe we plant the seed over here, or up where the systems is. Maybe. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe up there. Oh. Nope, nothing. Where do I plant this thing? Find a nurturing grow bed. I mean, it's a digital grow bed, right? Like, it wouldn't be in... It's not a physical seed. Alright, I guess we have to wait either way. Alright, let's just do some odd jobs and then we'll, call the cycle. Still gotta wait a bit for this. There's also a bar thing, right? Yeah. Where is it? No. Where is it? Yeah. You get a regular whatever here. Get energy from this? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, you can become a regular here. Anything else around here? Cell server's done too. Okay, I guess we just work on See if we could still do our old job at the engineering place. Here we go. I can roll better than the 2. There you go. How much time do we have left? Oh crap, you gotta rent your place up here. Oh, we should feed the cat too. How much time we got left? I got about another 30-40 minutes. Although I think we are almost done with the game. Unless I completely missed, might have missed a thing or two. Right now, we only have the mushrooms left, and then the thing. Just buy drinks to become a regular. One more cycle till they're done, and how many more cycles till... How many more cycles? 1, 2... 3? No, 4 more cycles until this engineering job goes. See when the mushrooms are done growing. They might be, actually. No, 1 more cycle. Okay, we're good. Labs. Maybe in the commune we can plant the seed? It's gotta be a server. Oh, maybe in the labs. No. Collect spores. No need. Alright. Mainly we just need scrap for the, we need scrap to repair the body. And money for everything else. So, we'll just focus on getting that. The waste is a good place to get scrap. $2 scrap each, man. Easy. Once you have all the upgrades, like survival becomes not a problem anymore. It just kind of becomes a visual novel at that point. I don't know, I really wish, like, yeah, each of the places you can sleep has their own unique buff or something. Rather than reroll. Holy shit, yo. Big rolls here. Let's go. I turned a 2, 2, and 1 into a 2 6s and a 5. Yo, payday. Let's go. Did lose some energy, but it's fine. Repair. If you buy the crackers and put them out, the stray will always come. That doesn't mean they like you, though. They are a cat, after all. Now let's go feed the kitty. Oh, there's there's actually an outcome on that. Okay, we can buy some membership at the bar. What do you get from this, I wonder? You're an Overlook regular now. You meet the bartender? Hey, Tala, owner of the Overlook. Out, the voice comes from behind you, spat out like a shot. You turn to see bright eyes, dark hair. A stare that could breach the wall and vent you into hard vacuum. Turn back to the spacer, the second glass comes sailing through the air. Oh. Through the haze of glass and gyro vapor, you see Tala leap the bar and close the distance to the spacer. The thud as he slams into the wall echoes around the bar like thunder. Now flanked by the other figures, quick to their feet. Tala throws the spacer out through the door and stands silhouetted against the rotunda lights. You touch your arm and it feels wet. Someone helps you to your feet and back onto your stool. Broken glass rattles as it is cleared, and a fresh measure of rolls glug down in front of you. That same hand, warm, heavy, and falls on your shoulder once more. He isn't coming back. We don't tolerate that kind of shit here. Yeah, I'm not, bar's not my scene, guys. Tala flops onto the stool beside you. Let's get a look at you. Oh, damn. You mean, that was an ambitious catch, she smiles, pulling a sliver of glass from your forearm. Stupid, but ambitious. You don't feel the pain, only a string of status messages your body delivers concerning dermal damage and exposed structures. You do feel the care, though, as Tala's eyes search your thick synthetic skin for splinters. Tala works with the skill of someone who had to pick glass splinters from the skin of a stranger before. She hones in on each bright shard, all the time tapping the tweezer tips in little rhythms that only she can follow. Tala smiles to herself. You've been on the eye long? Long enough. She laughs. Hey, you don't need to act tough with me. A splinter clinks into the tin. Not everyone's like that idiot. We don't all hate you. She glances around. Some of the regulars, maybe they fear you, maybe they're just curious. I don't know. But I do know that the Overlook is a safe place. I know what it's like to be new in this place. Trust me. She meets your eye. I'm not trying to convince you of anything or separate you from your chits. I just want you to know if you need something, you can always come here. I know the rations we got aren't much, and the company is, she lays it, limited. But if you need work, I'll happily put you behind the bar. And if you need shelter, well, we can discuss that. You'll be safe. I usually have Francis on the door, but he's up in the Greenway to cycle, haggling with our supplier. Francis tends to be particular about what we serve, even if the clientele isn't. She places her tweezers in the tin with a clink. That's you, sleeper. Here. She slides this glass of Jarol to you. This'll help. She stops her hands filling the glass. Wait, does this help? I mean, can you get drunk? Let's find out. She laughs. Just don't sit here too long. I hate to see you become a real regular. She walks back around the bar, gathering the glasses as she does, and before long, is retelling how she threw that spacer out to a new group that just wandered in, complete with dramatic actions. She gestures in your direction, and you instinctively look away, back to the worn surface of the bar. You take a sip of the Jarol. The earthly fungal tones fill your senses, almost blocking out sight and sound, like diving headfirst into a bog. You may not be able to get drunk, but this connection to something grown, something fermented, something old, feels good. Yeah, there are growing, like, fungal replacements for finding out ways to use fungus, food, and manufacturing. Okay, does this do anything? Oh, bar shift. Good service. Oh, I guess we're barman now, too. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Oh, wait, no. Rabia is finished with their thing. Sleeper, well, good timing. Rabia calls out as you enter. I wanted to introduce you to someone. The man is standing quietly at the center of the room. Speaking quietly with Rabbi. He turns as you come in. Meet Yannick. Oh, Yannick and Elder. Sleeper? He nods. I've been hearing good things from Rabbi. He smiles an easy smile. Good to meet you. Likewise, likewise. He waves a ringed hand. Now, Rabbi, where were we? Actually, Rabbi places a hand on your shoulder. The sleeper was what I wanted to talk to you about. She doesn't spare you a look. What's going on? Well, okay then. Yannick tucks his head into his pockets, hands into his mouth. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. A tiny pause. They have shown themselves to be a capable ally here on the spoke side, but we have more than enough to run our territories. I hear the main block is proving more difficult. Yannick leans forward slowly. It's a mess, Rabbi. He waits. His tinted glass is shimmering despite the lack of light in the unit. I can use them, he suddenly decides. Rabbi smiles. Good to hear. I can immediately... Yannick cuts off with a raised hand. 1 second. He steps one surprisingly light step closer to you. You eager to work, sleeper? What kind of work? A question. Yannick lowers his head and raises it again, as if he dropped something. Nothing new for you, he answers, not quite looking at you. You don't follow. What is he saying? That concludes it. Yannick pronounces. Sleeper can come work in the ward, anytime they like. You shoot Rabia a confused look. Rabia finally glances at you for a moment, but it's so fast you almost miss it. Good. I know you'll be happy with the work, Yan. Yannick reaches out and squeezes her shoulder. Sure, Rabbi, he says. Now please. He says, turning to face you. Let us old friends get back to it. He guides Rabia away, leaving you standing alone. You look to Rabia, but she's deep in conversation. And so, stunned and confused, you leave. I mean, probably asking you to spy for them, probably? I'm guessing? Gain Yannick's trust. Okay, yeah, Okay, there is actually more. Interesting. I thought that was gonna be it. Apparently not. We got more. We got a gangster movie to do. Alright, let's see what the aviary has been. Harvest mushrooms. Here we go. One Matsutake, one clubhead caps. I need to save the Matsutake for Emphas. We'll just have to give you more Digiroll. I think this is enough. Yep. Riko meets you at the entrance to the lab, leaning on her crutch with a glint in her eye. Walk with me, Sleeper. I'd like to tell you a story. She makes her way down the corridor that leads back up towards the main commune building. When people first crossed what we call Founder's Gap into the Greenway, they did so against the wishes of Andre Erlin. At the time, Erlin was trying to stabilize the Union and establish control over the Eye in the wake of Solheim's collapse. It was chaos. Competing factions, failing systems, so many dead and injured from the riots. That was his priority. You both crossed through a glass-roofed tunnel, the Greenway outside crowded with vines and branches, dappling the lights. Erlin had written the Greenway off, cut off from the rest of the station, and linked to a broken spoke. He claimed it was only a matter of time before everything here would die. He refused to let anyone abandon their duty to the Union and cross. They were traitors to the cause, or as good as. Riko continues, making her slow but steady way into the inner gardens of the commune. There weren't many of us, but we believed what was here was worth saving. We had to keep our plan secret until we crossed, and some of us left people behind. She pauses to catch her breath, her voice cracking. It's difficult to know it from effort or emotion. What we found was a disaster, nothing like what you see here. Half of the Greenway was leaking oxygen into space, the plants flash frozen, the other half was a swamp of mulch, as decaying matter clogged every system. We worked hard, we lost good people. We cleaned up and we closed up, but it was never going to be enough. After many, many cycles, we all knew this place was doomed, but we kept on working, taking less and less, because we couldn't face it. We all developed a death wish. If the Greenway was going to die, so would we. What changed? Everything. Riko smiles. We crossed some invisible boundary, tipped some biological scale, and the Greenway started to recover. Plants flowered, crops sprouted. For the first time, we reaped the fruits of our labor. Riko smiles, looking up at you. We thought it was us, that we managed to do just enough to end the cycle of decay. I thought we had saved the Greenway, until today. You pass into the grow beds of the commune, rich with the hustle and bustle of Haifa members quietly planting and harvesting. For a while, Riko was quiet, and you both simply observed the hypnotic movements of the work crews. The eager chatter is washing over you like a wave. Riko smiles to herself. I should have known, of course, that our arrogance was unfounded. But we needed to believe back then. We needed a myth to bring more people across the gap. You both moved to a smaller corridor, Riko following some direction unknown to you. What you have shown me is that back then, the Greenway saved us, not the other way around. Tell me, have you ever consumed one of the Matsutake or Digiroll caps you have been growing? Yes. I imagine they were delicious, nutritious, almost uniquely so. She muses. After all, they were designed for you. Riko has a mischievous look. At first I thought it was the location they were grown in that made the mushrooms from the aviary, from the labs, or from the grove different to each other. But what I have come to understand is that it is the person growing them. The Matsutake and Jiro caps you brought me are totally unique, containing compounds never usually found in similar specimens in my possession. Many of these compounds aren't even digestible for humans, but for a sleeper like you. Riko smiles as she leads you into the internal garden of the commune, where the Haifa members have planted new species from all over the Greenway. Sorry, get thirsty after all this reading. Back when the tide turned, when the Greenway started to recover, we all felt something. A response. It was as if this place was not just alive, as the forest is alive, but alive in other ways. Communicative, responsive. We shrugged it off at the time, but now I understand why. Riko stops and turns to you. This place is responding to us, adapting itself to us. It is growing fruiting bodies for you. For me, it is adapting, changing. It is, in short, displaying all the signs of sentience. Sentient? Perhaps not the Greenway, but the ecosystem itself, or something within it. Riko sits on a bench within the peaceful gardens and gestures for you to join her. When you have been growing the Jirols and the Matsutakes in the aviary, those species are so familiar to the Greenway. Have you discovered any others? Yes. Riko can barely contain her excitement. I should like to see those. Please bring me some next time you're here. You look around the garden, amazed at the sense of peace within it. Riko interrupts the silence. There is a species of mushrooms that I haven't seen in years. It was dark, short, and shaped like a club. We first found it in those early days when we were working to save this place. It was around the time when we started losing our first members. They were succumbing to some infection, some mold growing deep in the dark mulch that drowned this place. At that point, we thought we were lost. And then these mushrooms emerged from the same black mold. We tested them and saw they contained some compounds that counteracted the mold. They contained an antidote. Yeah, India had some huge problems with black mold infections during the height of the pandemic. I don't know if it's still going on now. Of course, as a botanist, I saw this as part of the natural processes of this ecosystem, even if the timescales seem absurdly short. But what I am wondering is that if that antidote was a gift. Riko meets your eyes. Perhaps if you're patient, you will receive your gift too, sleeper. You both sit for a while. Riko seemingly done telling stories for today. You watch the light playing off the leaves and plants around you, and wonder what forces could be in play in this place. After a while, you stand and leave, with a quiet nod to Riko, leaving her to her memories. So what's left? Can I give her more caps? Club head samples. Oh, hey, we got one. So you need 3 of these. Yeah, okay. Just sleep in the commune. Alright, we got a couple of new storylines to go through. Okay, we got 2 out of 3. Oh. I don't know what drive we just finished, but sure. Oh, we need spores to grow more mushrooms. Okay, so we gotta get some spores now. We have 2 points? No, 1 point. Damn it. Well, let's go to Emphas first. We'll get our energy back. Maybe another drive point. We'll see. Oh, you gotta wait for him to cook it. Alright, not enough time for that yet. Well, the fungus needs time to grow, so I guess we should prioritize getting the spores first. Right, yeah. Alright, I think 3 spores is how many we need? Yeah. see how many cycles till the engineering project. Should be there soon. Two more. Okay, we don't have time to finish all this today, but I guess we'll continue this another day. I'll get as far as I can today, though. Continue bartender. One more. I have a 1 though, I don't want to risk it. Use it on some throwaway we don't care about. Got more than enough scrap. Keep repairing ourselves. Okay, it's time to cook. Guess we just keep working for Yad again, right? And the bartending. Yad again, probably more time sensitive. We just buy some food. Buy some rations. Oh, that's it? Oh, that gives you less energy, maybe? It's cheaper, but it does give you less energy. Eh. Alright, let's see what's up with Yannick. You almost laugh when you see it. The same small recorder, stuck to a different wall this time. Written across the fluorescent tape is the familiar word sleeper. Grab it quickly. Rabia says sorry. Sabine's voice sparks up once again. She said she didn't have time to brief you before setting you up with the old man. I'm sure you got the play by now. Earn his trust, work the block. Then we need you to get into his office. It's risky, but obviously you are the only one of us he doesn't already know. Either way, we need to locate the link to SNARP. You hear a shout in the background of the recording. Rabia says be careful. Sabine continues. Does data suggest there's some relay processing the implant data and sending it to SNARP, but we can't lock down its position. Either he is moving it or it's moving itself, or is rerouting through other relays. We can't understand it. Maybe you can find some details on it in his office. Once he trusts you, you should be able to get in close enough to get in the office. You'll get one shot at this. The recording creaks and whines. That's the final piece of the puzzle to end this. I'll pause. Good luck, Sleeper. I'm sorry, too. Be safe. Critical. I need a 6 for this. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk it. We could just wait. Gonna keep feeding this cat, damn it. Oh. Sleep for a long time. Okay, here we go. Bliss. I know Bliss says she didn't want to take any more big job, but she's changed her mind or something. He grins because now we have someone looking for a refit of their ship in our bay. You would not believe it. They want their entire ship disarming, cutting out defense arrays, weapon lockers, ship-to-ship countermeasures, the whole lot. He leans in. We'll be able to start an arms dealership with all the hardware we'll have up there when we're done. He laughs. Anyways, it's a massive job, but we need some hands. Bliss said to go get you. So come on, Bliss is waiting on you to accept the job. He pauses. It'll be good to have you up there again. He grins like old times. Oh. Well, we have a whole bunch of 6s, so I guess we should do the important one first. You spot the countermeasure on the drawer moments before you can touch it. This has to be it, but you can't rush it. You look at the countermeasure on the drawer. It looks like some kind of shock trap. If you grab the drawer, you'd likely have thousands of volts running through your system right now. You wince. Once you find the anchor points, it becomes way easy. That's a typo. It should come away easily enough, I guess? You prise it from the drawer quickly and quietly, then listen for footsteps in the corridor outside. Nothing, all clear now. You slide the drawer open, looking for other countermeasures that might be inside, expecting to see a clunk of tech, the relay. But as you slip it open, all you see is a handful of wires and an empty implant cradle. Is this some kind of mistake? You freeze for a moment, unsure what to do next. Why keep an implant cradle so carefully guarded? You remember Yannick having an implant, a small plate on the side of his head, just above his ear. You assumed it was for hearing or vision. Those shimmering glasses of his come back to you in your memory, his strange movements, his speech. You look again at the cradle and there it is, printed on the frame. Proprietary technology, property of SNRP. Rabia said the relay moved, that they couldn't get a fix on it. What if Yannick was the relay? The thought hits you like a shock. Yannick, with a remote relay implanted in his head, networked to every single implanted enforcer in the low end. A shudder runs through you. Is he even in control? Or has SNRP wormed its way into the man? Could he even be considered separate from the corporation itself? You think of your own legal status as proprietary technology. A puppet will cut strings. Time to cut Yannick's strings, then. You reach around inside the cradle and find it. A remote connection. A tiny bead of a transmitter, likely controlling the link to SNRP. There it is. You pause for a moment, then you squeeze it. Snap it from the frame and it crumples, sparks and dies. It takes a moment before the shouts come, before the screams. And you're already on your way out, down the corridor, down through the unit that serves as the lobby of Yannick's office. Then out into the walkway where Yannick lies still. Enforcers gather around him bemused. You push through the crowd and there he is, still, crumpled. You arrange him a little, lie him down properly, feeling how thin his body is underneath the suit. You wonder how long he has been like this, a puppet for SNRP. With the connection cut, nothing remains but his body, which means that Yannick the man was gone a long time ago. You place a hand on his chest. You are sorry for him, but it is done now, and you did not kill this man. You've seen enough. The connection is cut, and whatever Yannick was or had become is gone. Oh, your anger is a hard core in your chest, and all of it's focused on SNRP. Gotta wait. Oh, and Kita's here. The idea of not seeing Ankita when you entered the room was seemed unlikely due several cycles ago. But seeing her without her armor, she was smaller, less imposing. Finally got rid of the armor. So what is this? Come to avenge Ashton or a sleeper? Or just looking for another payout? I don't want to fight. Oh, sleeper, you're already here. Miss Cassetta, this is the tech I was telling you about, the best on the... She stops, looking between the two. Wait, do two of you know each other? You and Ankita looked at each other. We work together. Bliss squints at you before continuing. Bliss produces a slate. Now, Miss Cassetta, if you'd like to sign our damage waiver here, we can start on the decommissioning. She looks at you. My tech here is eager to get started, as am I. Ankita scrawls her signature across the slate. Thank you. Bliss pauses. And everything's okay with the special payment terms we discussed? She gives Ankita a strange smile. All fine, says Ankita, giving you another hard look. Then she kicks off and drifts to the entrance. I'll be in the gimbal, she says. Special payment terms. She looks over her glasses at you. Look, Sleeper, there's something I have to tell you. She glances around again. Why is she so nervous? I mean, this isn't exactly a typical job. Miss Akita, she gives you a knowing look, doesn't have the chits to pay us, so we made a special agreement. She sighs, I'm leaving. Joining a mercenary crew? Don't make me laugh. Ankita's an ex-merc. Why do you think she's getting us from all our ship's armaments? Ship's called Amber. Bliss gives you a funny look. There's some deep history here, huh? She holds up a hand to stop you answering. Look, all I care is she's heading for the starboard belt. She looks out of the bay. That's where I'm headed. Also, if I wanted to ask, she stops unsure, if you'd like to come with us. She interrupts before you answer. I know things have been hard for you on the Eye, and you helped me so much. I asked Ankita if she carried the two of us, and she said yes. Moritz will take over the bay anyway, although if you stay, you're welcome to help him run it. I just thought. She sighs. You might be in need of a fresh start as much as I am. She turns away nervously. Oh, this is another possible ending. The berth is there. We got to finish the job first anyway. And with that, she kicks away and heads to the racks before you can offer an answer. Moments later, Moritz enters with a new cutting torch for the disarming of the ambergris. The starboard belt. You push your thoughts to the back of your mind. Time to get to work. Huh. Was pretty easy. Alright, we'll get the ending and then I guess we'll call it a day. Reroll. Boom. One go. Amber looks better than she ever has before. Bliss has done an incredible job of cleaning up the hull, and despite the exterior changes being limited, she has the impression of being lighter, somehow sleeker than before. Moritz drifts by. He's been loading up the final equipment onto Amber. Turns out Ankita will be taking her weapons, but packed and ready to sell at the first starboard belt port she hits. But now Moritz is done, he seems kind of in a daze, floating back and forth endlessly. What's that? He turns. Oh yeah, right. Packed and stacked. He smiles a weak smile. I was hoping Miss Cassetta will let me keep a warhead. What do you think? Miss Cassetta? She shrugs. She seems tired. And old. Like, older than she looks. Hey, Sleeper. Did you know Bliss was leaving? You understand now. She told him. That's why he's like this. I did. That's distractingly. She said, this place is mine. He looks up. Around the bay like it's suddenly some vast space he doesn't know what to do with. You'll do a great job. He looks down at you. Hey, thanks. He smiles. I appreciate you saying that. Not many people believed in me before. First Bliss down, then you. A dark look suddenly crosses his face. Sleeper. There's something Bliss said. He meets your eye. Are you going too? Before you can answer, Ankita glides into the bay, a massive crate on her shoulder. Sleeper, you coming or what? Bliss is already on board. She stops by the terminal, holding herself in place. Moritz looks at her with a dazed impression. You look at Ankita. She's keeping it together now. She's packed all those bad feelings down, someplace you'll never see them, and built a tough foundation on top. She may not be a mercenary anymore, but you think most people would think twice before trying to cross her. Well, she looks at you. I'm not eager to spend another moment of my time on this station unless I have to. She pauses, looking between you and Moritz. She sighs. I'll give you a minute. Well, guess we're going. Moritz looks like he might pass out. I get it. He steels himself. It's the right decision. Hey, thank you for working with me these past few cycles. He smiles with a shaky smile. I learned a lot. Hey, look. He moves closer. You got to find what you need. I did. Bliss, this place, you. This is everything I needed. He sniffs. I was in a bad place and this pulled me out. He looks away. You go find it. Kid comes back across the bay, the final crate stowed. You coming then, Sleeper? Coming. You both glide away from Moritz, his eyes wet, but a smile on his face. You He waves as you go, dwarfed by the vast bay, and you hope he will make it, even though you know, somehow, that he will. Oh. Look, Sleeper, I'm not going back over everything that happened, she sighs. I'm trying to put that behind me. She stops. It's okay. The past is done. I'm sick of being used as an extension of something bigger, something crueler than me. Having that cruelty, that violence flow through me. Just want to be me for a while. She looks down, or at least figure who that is. Oh. She takes a deep breath. So what I'm saying is you can get off the first port we hit in the belt. I wouldn't blame you. It's a smart move. She pauses. Or you can stick around and we'll see if we can find a way to make space for all of us. Bliss is next door, though I think she's in the hold right now. She says she wants to make sure the warheads are locked down tight. Ankita observes your nervous response. I mean, they are, obviously. Just gives you a look. Stay like that for a while, looking out the porthole, one hand on the wall, feeling the ship. It is through that porthole you will watch the eye getting smaller and smaller, drowning in the black. At some point it will become so small you could hold it between your thumb and index finger. And then it will wink out, and you won't be able to see it anymore. Huh. Well, just blast off to adventure. Alright, well, we got the ending. That's a fitting ending point for now. We'll see what else is new afterwards. Alright, guys. Damn. So yeah, it seems like you can get all like the ending stuff and all the content stuff in one go. I don't know how much the decisions affect the story. Like, what happens if you did that encounter with Ankita and the Sleeper different? Well, maybe one of you guys will... I mean, this game's on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, you can just try it out. You know, you can play it and see if there's any difference. Alright, guys.